η σοφία και η ευχαριστία και η τιμή και η δύναμη και η ισχύς του Θεού ημών εις τους αιώνας των αιώνων. Αρχίζοντα πολύ λίγο που θα ήθελα να πω με αυτό το κείμενο από την Αποκάλυψη, ένα κείμενο το οποίο εκφράζει την δοξολογική διάθεση που έχουμε όταν ζούμε ένα πολύ μεγάλο γεγονός. Σεβασμιότατε και προσφυλέστατε, Άγιοι αδελφέ, Αρχιεπίσκοπε Αμερικής, κύριε Ελπιδοφόρο, σεβασμιότατοι, θεοφιλέστατοι, ευλαβείς ιερείς, αξιόλογοι εκπρόσωποι του διπλωματικού σώματος, κύριε Πρέσβη, και επιτρέψτε μου επίσης να συμπεριλάβω στην προσφώνηση τον φυσικό αδελφό μου, Αντώνιο Τρακατέλη, πρίτανη του Πανεπιστημίου Θεσσαλονίκης και αντιπρόεδρο του Ευρωκοινοβουλίου, και την σύζυγό του, Τάνια Τρακατέλη, που είναι παρόντες. Είναι μαζί μου αυτές τις μέρες, είχαν έρθει και το εισιτήριό τους για επιστροφή στην Ελλάδα ήταν την περασμένη Δευτέρα. Αλλά όταν έμαθαν ότι υπάρχει απόψινή εκδήλωση, το ανέβαλαν κατά 5 μέρες για να είναι απόψε μαζί μας. Δημοσίως τους ευχαριστώ. Δεν θέλω να επανέλθω και πάλι στο θέμα του πόσο δύσκολο είναι να βρίσκεται κανείς στη περίπτωση τη δική μου εκεί και να κάθεται και να ακούει αυτά που είπαν οι προλαλήσαντες. Είναι πάρα πολύ δύσκολο. Είναι σχεδόν αδύνατο. Δηλαδή πρέπει να σκεφτείς ότι αυτά λέγονται για κάποιον άλλο για να μπορέσεις να μείνεις στη θέση σου. Συν το γεγονός ότι βλέπω μπροστά μου αυτούς τους ογκώδεις τόμους και λέω τι είναι όλη αυτή η ιστορία. Περί τίνος πρόκειται. What is going on here? Και θυμάμαι ότι καμιά φορά οι άνθρωποι βρίσκονται σε συνθήκες που είναι πάρα πολύ σκληρές για αυτούς. That's my very tough time. I can tell you. To listen to this kind of thing, or this kind of praises, and I have to tell you, when I read again the prologue of the Patriarch, I almost fainted. I mean, read this prologue, it's just one page. You will be amazed the generosity of expression, the precision of expression, and the richness of expression. So, I confess to you that I am in this kind of situation now, and so you explain to me that I cannot be exactly what I am normally, because I found myself now in a very abnormal condition. In addition to my deep gratitude to the Patriarch for writing the prologue as he did with the first volume, the first 10 years, I have to tell you that I have been again very, very touched, very moved by what Archbishop Demidov said. Γέροντα μου, that was too much. Αυτό ήταν πολύ. It was too much. Ήταν very much από κάποιον που είναι τρέχον, current Archbishop. It was much that you said by yourself. And much obliged to you for your extreme kindness. But in addition to the Archbishop Metropolis, who deserve a very special thanks. I want to also allow me to just mention some other people that need special mentioning. First of all, I return to the thanks and the praises for Mr. and Mrs. Panagos. They had done what they did with the first volume 10 years ago, and now with this big volume. Having done with books for the whole of my life, I know how difficult it is to write a book. And even more if you write not just a book, but you produce a special kind of publication dealing with pictures, photos, and legends. And also, I don't know why we didn't mention anything, it's a bilingual edition. It's Greek and English for everything. And in addition, and in slightly different situation from the first volume, it much more number of pages, but also has a long biographical introduction, which has been written. I read it, and I have to tell you, I had very few things to correct. Very precise and very extensive for this book. So, Dimitri, Archon Castrensiae, that's the title he has as Archon, Castrensius. Archon Castrensiae, Rebecca, thank you so much. I have thanks for the brothers who work in the archdiocese in order to prepare this kind of event. I am sorry for the people who are standing. I have no way to do something about that. But that is the result of a good organization. They organize the thing well, and we have people that have more than the chairs. So thank you for this kind of thing, and particularly Father Elias, who not only read the text from Bishop Antonius, but also had the kindness to send a special letter to all parishes for the archdiocese here, the direct archdiocese council, so that they would be present here. Thank you. I have thanks for a somehow amorphous committee. Well, that committee will have a name, will have a form, we can describe it. There are committees that are with people coming in and out, but they do a terrific job. And this kind of amorphous committee was frequented by Father Panteleimon, Mrs. Aliki Kurian, for years, director of the Archdiocese at my office, Mr. and Mrs. Panagos, Mr. Stavros Papagapoulos, Miss Paulette Poulos, Miss Niki Calais, just to mention a few. Thank you for the special efforts preparing the whole thing. I have thanks from the depth of my heart for the speakers of tonight. They spoke so well. I have to tell you publicly that I regret that we didn't have as a speaker Metropolitan Savas, who was in the first 10 years. If Metropolitan Savas had spoken, he would find a way to entertain us. But that's a special quality that it happens. So, but Metropolitan Savas, I don't know if we have any other occasion, but I somehow reserved the right of invite you, and no excuse you would come. I have many thanks for Mrs. Mary Chacharis. She was instrumental, Mr. Panna was right, Mrs. Mary Chacharis and her husband, the late Michael Chacharis, for the first volume, the first 10 years. And for tonight, Mr. Chacharis prepared what we are going to taste at the end of this event here. Not only this table, for everyone. That's Mr. Chacharis that has prepared a rather unusual kind of offering in terms of food after a meeting like this. So, unfortunately, she could not be here because of reasons of health. I left last, before last. Before last I had to mention also Metropolitan Agathangelos of Phanarion. Metropolitan Agathangelos of Phanarion is the General Director of Apostolic Diaconia of the Church of Greece. When we had a discussion, he immediately said, "Don't worry," he said, I said, "How can you move and distribute and circulate this kind of big books?" He said, "Don't worry. All the metropolitans of the Patriarchate, all the metropolitans of the Church of Greece, all official people, and all the metropolitans in the States, they will have the book received, packaged very carefully by us, free." I mean, we talk about hundreds of books, huge, heavy books like that. And please think when you received it, the people who are going to receive it. But there are also books for the rest of us here. You see the careful packaging of the book. That's something that shows nobility and Evgenia, your eminence you mentioned. So I'm expressing my thanks to Metropolitan Agathangelos, and then, last but not least, I have to express my thanks to Archon Christos Spiropoulos and his wife Stella Stavroula Spiropoulos. Sometimes you might have good ideas, brilliant ideas. You don't know how to make them reality. You need something. You might have a beautiful car, but if you don't have a gas, you can move it. Here, Mrs. Spiropoulos provided anything financially that was needed for a total production, distribution, and circulation of the book. In spite of the title and in spite of the content, is not a book related to an individual, Archbishop Δημητρίου. It is related, but this is not the substance of the book. The book projects by reflection in the most beautiful way this very powerful, this very genius situation, which is the Archdiocese of America, the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese of America. That's the Bible. I'm sorry that you spoke about me, not so much about the book. The book is a treasure for the Archdiocese. And Archbishop Dimopoulos was very, very wise and extremely smart in thinking that this is a business of the Archdiocese. It is not only for Archbishop Dimopoulos. Archbishop Dimopoulos did what he did as Archbishop of this Archdiocese. This is the substance. And you know what? Let me share with you something very interesting. When you see the pictures in the book, you see there are many pictures in which I'm there sitting with a high-level person, either the President of the United States or a candidate for President of the United States. Well, sometimes the two people there, the candidate for the presidency and the Archbishop that you see in the picture, they don't know each other. It's the first meeting they have. The candidate didn't come because he knew me and came to share my wisdom. No. He came for the Archdiocese and as an institution, and he came for the Archbishop as an institution, not as a person. They didn't know me. That's the case, most of them. Our first way that we met were when they came, they sit down and we start talking for 2 or 3 hours. But it was a tremendous power that is inherited and now in this great Orthodox Archdiocese of America. As institution, as church, as 550, your eminences that I'm not sure about it, if 550 or 40 something parishes now. There are hundreds of priests, our metropolitans of the synod, terrific kind of body, our priests, our ladies philoctobos, our other major institutions, British 100, faith endowment, archons of the patriarchate, the educational institutions, our schools, Holy Cross, and Hellenic College. All of these are behind this book, are reflected in this book. The book is a product of their activity. That's what it is. The activity, as it happens with a good orchestra, you might have even a mediocre maestro who does well with a good orchestra. So that's the case. The orchestra are all this kind of people, and we are, as by the grace of God, as bishops, we are just directing this beautiful kind of orchestra in order to produce a super melodic result. So now I pay tribute to having this as a reflection of the genie, the power, and the beauty of our archdiocese and of our Omilía. And so we could say that by the grace of God, this archdiocese and this Omilía managed in the duration of 200 years, that was from 1922 that the archdiocese was instituted officially until tonight. This could say that they offer the best in Orthodoxy and the best in Hellenism. And I know I say that not of my own kind of analysis, but when Archbishop Hieronymus of Athens was here a few years back to receive an honorary degree by our Hellenic College Holy Cross, and a group of journalists and photographers, they asked him before boarding to the plane, what are your strongest impressions? What could you give us as a message as you live in the States? He said, φεύγω καλύτερος Ορθόδοξος και καλύτερος Έλληνας. I am living a better Orthodox and a better Greek after visiting for 1 week this place which is the Archdiocese. So that's the case. Well, St. Paul, writing his first written text, and the first book of the New Testament, by the way, in the year 51, 52, just 20 years after the resurrection and the ascension and crucifixion, of course. writing to the Thessalonians, he starts the letter with a beautiful sentence. He says, I am offering my thanks to God for you, remembering and mentioning. And here is the original text. Το έργο της πίστεως και των κόπων της αγάπης και την υπομονή της ελπίδος. I am thanking God for you, mentioning to him your work of faith, labor of love, and endurance of hope. This is a situation, this is a picture, this is the reality of these ourselves, reflected in the book. The work of faith, the labor of love, the endurance of hope. So in that case, I think we would be entitled, daring a bit, bold enough to say that what in the book of Acts was formulated in a very sharp way is applicable here in this case, which is the apostle said, after seeing that the Jewish people finally did not accept Christ, they said, we turn now to the Gentiles, and we hear the word of God saying, in the original language of the book of Acts, τέθηκα σε εις φως εθνών, του είναι σε εις σωτηρίαν μέχρι στις χάτου της γης. I have set you to be a light for the Gentiles, for the nations, to be a salvation to the ends of the earth. I think, without being daring much, this could be repeated for our archdiocese that we have been in, the Orthodox people in America. We have been set with the light of the world and to the ends, salvation to the ends of the earth. Geographically, we are at the end of the earth, right? In part, we are not in the center of Europe or in the center of something. We are just reaching from Atlantic to Pacific. We are at the ends of the earth. And we have been called to be the light to everyone living in this really amazing country, which is the place where our church is really so wonderfully accepted and so tremendously creative and fruitful. I apologize for not offering perhaps what was expected from me, but I have to say the difficulty you put me on, but the joy of being together once more. Thank you, Your Eminence. Thank you, my beloved brothers in the priesthood. Thank you, my lay people, and thank you, my beloved brothers and sisters. Thank you.